So pay for slay. This is a big deal because this is how the continued violence has gone on with between the Palestinians and Israel, okay? And you could see how this plays out. This is the reason why we have Democrat cities and even Republic. They keep the hoods in place. They keep the poor for a reason, because make everything so destitute for them, okay, that they have no option but to go into a gang, okay? And then that serves them, because then they will work for George Soros in many ways, okay? Because funding will come from that jackass. Now, in this case, but I'm saying it's the same type thing. It's the reason Democrats carry on about we're going to help the downtrodden, we're going to help the people that are poor. Yet they never do. They put a bunch of them on welfare, and then they keep them. Basically that's the chains they have over them the rest of their life. Never pull them up out of anything, okay? But then for their young ones, they make their conditions so bad to where they're almost forced into a gang because they don't help them. The Democrat Party, the Liberal Party, is not about helping anybody. They wouldn't know how to. They wouldn't. So pay for slay is a big thing in Palestine. So a little bit about this, because Trump had stopped this, because this is not the answer. This puts people where they put their young people in a position to where they want to help their families, but in order to help their families, they have to go on with a suicide vest into Gaza Strip and explode themselves and take out a bunch of people, and then they get this money, pay for slay. Maybe that's why Beyonce's song talks about slay. We slay. Yeah, how interesting. Shady her, Jay-Z, that whole group there, just not right. Anyway, so this has been going on forever. They're also told they use the radicals that follow the Quran, the radical ones. They tell these young Muslims that if you do this, when you die, you're gonna get to heaven, and there'll be 72 virgins there waiting for you. They tell them whatever propaganda they have to, and they will pay out the families because they have to, because then it will encourage more young people to go and kill themselves in honor of their family. Now, Israel understands that this is what has been going on. They have not been like, they do care about the Palestinians, unlike what the professors in our country want to lie to their students about. But they do. They've been reasonable. So when Trump was in office, the Taylor Force Act was put in 2018. And of course, the Palestinian authorities, okay, the PA, the Palestinians authorities, so the jihadist government, the gangsters, really, the terrorist organization that controls Palestine, it's the Palestine Authority, slammed Congress for the passage of the Taylor Force Act, because Trump wanted to stop all this violence, and this is all how simply this could have been taken place, but because we've had incompetent presidents in office, and currently have one that's incompetent and completely not even lucid, we get more terrorist problems in the world. Something that's easily taken care of, just like it would be easy to take care of the problems of the poor and the hoods and all these areas, but no. Doesn't serve the Democrat cities. It doesn't serve George Soros. He needs his class of downtrodden people so he can use those young people, get out there and radicalize them. They do it in the universities. They do it in the hood. They do it anywhere they can. And George Soros, or now his grandson or son, I guess, is funding it. Just completely horrible things they back. So, the Taylor Force Act is an act of the U.S. Congress to stop American economic aid to the Palestinian Authority. The Palestinian Authority is the radical government that isn't really a government. They're a terrorist organization. Until the Palestinian Authority ceases paying stipends through the Palestinian Authority Martyrs Fund. And I just explained why, because when they pay these young kids that go into the Gaza Strip and blow up a bunch of people, with, shrapnel bombs strapped to them and kill themselves, and then their families get all this money. It encourages other young kids. This is the reason they wanted it stopped. Until PA ceases paying stipends through the Palestinian Authority Martyrs Fund to individuals who commit acts of terrorism and to the families of deceased terrorists. The act was signed into law by U.S. President Donald Trump on March 23, 2018, which will cut about a third of the U.S. foreign aid payments to the Palestinian Authority. On August 24, 2018, the United States cut more than $200 million in direct aid to the Palestinian authorities. Also in August 2000, this is how you have peace too, is cutting this stuff off. So it should be obvious to see. I don't care if you're on the left and the right. If you want to see the truth, if you're truly about the truth, then you should be able to see how continuing to fund. You see why George Soros funds the things he does. You see why these radical universities have been using your children. You see why they push things like that are hurtful to your children. Do they care? Are those people that care? Absolutely not. They couldn't care if they tried. In February 2019, the U.S. confirmed it stopped all U.S. aid to Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza in a step linked to new anti-terrorism legislation. And that the bill was named in honor of Taylor Force. He was a native of Lubbock, Texas. Let me fix this. It's turned upside down. Lubbock, Texas, who graduated from the New Mexico Military Institute and then West Point in 2009 and served tours of duty in both Afghanistan and Iraq. After completing his service, Taylor entered the Owen Graduate School of Management at Vanderbilt University to study for an MBA. He was murdered in Israel 2016 by a Palestinian terrorist. At the time of his murder, he was visiting Israel and a part of Vanderbilt University study group examining global entrepreneurship. He was killed on March 8, 2016 in a terrorist attack by Palestinians from the West Bank city of Kudala. I'm trying spotching that. A stabbing attack in Tel Aviv that injured 11 people. Because the killer died while committing an act of terrorism, the killer's relatives are paid a monthly pension equal to several times the average monthly Palestinian wage. So that's the incentive, okay? And these kids, you'd think, well, why would they want to sacrifice their life? They don't have anything else. Yeah, Israel actually talked about how can we make it so, make some sort of payments to these families. Because most of the people that are not the radical Palestinians know that Israel's not the problem. It's these terrorist organizations that want the Jews eliminated. But Israel has talked about, how can we, to get rid of pay for slay, can we do something so that they have some sort of social security program where they don't have to, feel like their only options are to strap a bomb to their chest with shrapnel all over it and go into the Gaza Strip and blow a bunch of people up, all to that's what happens. That's how sad it is. That's sad. That is sad. So when I see these foolish people marching in support of Palestinians, it's like, you're not supporting Palestine. You're not. You're just all you're supporting with those professors that have radicalized you. I mean, the very fact that Black Lives Matter supports Palestine, is that really all of a big stretch or big hard to believe? Whoa, what a shocker. Yeah, I've said they're a terrorist organization too. All the terrorist organizations are going to back each other. Of course they will. And you can add to that list some of your universities, because I would see them as terrorist organizations because they allow radical professors to come in and create their own little militias in this country, which that should be stopped too. Because they are harming the people in this country by manipulating their minds to think it's okay to rape babies. If they're Jews, you rape those babies, you shoot those babies in the head, it doesn't matter. This is sick, and again, Trump was doing something about it, some simple things that would make everything more peaceful. But there are people in this world, university, higher educated, and many more wealthy, that want nothing but war.